Hey guys, and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I wanted to talk about the planned changes to the flight model, what's changing, why, and what does it mean. And most of what I'm talking about is from the ATV UK ship shape flight model section, links in the description to the original below. Balance is the focus for 2.6. They are at a stage where they can be looking more at balance even before that hits the fundamentals of ship speeds for SCM, or basic combat mode, for the flight model are changing, or at least being tested. Ship speeds are roughly halved, everything feels heavier, ships slide less, the afterburner / boost is more useful, combat should be much closer in range than before, and less about jousting. The Evocati are getting a 2.5 interim, so a 2.5.5 patch to test these, and then it will be rolled out to a wider PTU if and when they are favourable changes. For their methodology, they've lowered the SCM speeds using the Gladius for their tests. They've lowered it to 140 in SCM, and they've propagated that speed, those slower speeds, to other ships and then kind of tested them in dogfights. They've sped up acceleration and deceleration, meaning there's less slide and there's quicker stopping. Turning while accelerating is obviously still pretty hard. At least there's less acceleration, or acceleration is slowed when turning. Afterburner and boost have been tweaked so that you have greater fuel limits, and the idea here is to make them used more and to be more effective in game. Larger ships also, this wasn't mentioned, but this is an assumption of mine, larger ships could have more boost fuel, so that smaller ships like the M50 may be faster than them and better at sprinting effectively, but larger ships might eventually be able to catch up to them with their larger boost capacities. A sprinter versus a marathon runner. Obviously, this will hugely affect how fights work, what weapons are the meta, how gimbals are handled versus fixed weapons, how all the ships perform when they fight, how armors and shields are necessary for certain ranges and stuff. It's all changes that are going to be adopted, and if they do get adopted, and when they get adopted, we're going to have to relearn to fight again. Racing again is going to be hugely affected by this. Boost management is going to be incredibly important. There's going to be less sliding and it's going to be slower. So the skill curve, it might be relatively easy to get into racing now, or much easier to compete, but those really skilled pilots are still going to be really skilled pilots for racing. The Evocati will be getting the special 2.5 build at some point soon. This is also going to have some shield changes in too. And we're going to continue to get this Evocati patch whenever it comes out, continue to get balanced based on player response. These are pretty major changes for the speed and shield and stuff numbers, and we get to decide whether they stay or go. The plan after this is then to balance shields, health of hulls, health of shields, and weapons in general. As I said, it's going to be much closer range dogfights for that more visceral wing commander experience and less about jousting, because jousting is bad. Well, I don't enjoy jousting anyway. Just to note, the Intelligent Flight Computer System, or IFCS, isn't changing. This is how the numbers and flight data or thrust data works and tells which of your thrusters and engines to fire and how much power to put into each. They are changing the numbers that go into that, but not the system itself. Everything will be the same across all modes as well, so if they change, it's not just changed in Arena Commander or the Mini PU, it's changed in both. It also looks like Arena Commander will be getting Cruise as a flight mode as well, because of obviously the slowing down of all ships. Cruise should be affected by that in some way as well. Missiles will obviously get some speed changes too. They are going to require a lot of testing, they said. They acknowledged that. They're going to be messing around with them. Black and red outs are still going to be relative to where they were before. So if you push your ship into crazy turns, you're still going to black or red out. And weapons are being scaled range-wise, case by case. Cannons being long range, repeaters being in the middle, and Gatling being short range. Larger sizes of weapons will typically have longer ranges too. As with all of these changes, they will continue to change and be iterated upon. These aren't changes that anyone should panic about. You're not going to have your game ruined. Just give honest, constructive feedback when you get to actually see the changes or when you get to use them in practice, or preferably both. Anyway, please tell me in the comments below what you think of the new flight changes, or your current sort of like thoughts on them. Remember, they're not set in stone, they're nothing to get stressed over. If they don't work or we hate them, don't worry, we get to change them. I'm interested in what you think now, and then again, we'll compare it after people have started using them, once they've gone to first wave PTU, so they can actually talk about them without breaking some form of either CARTI NDAs or whatever. Please don't forget to like and subscribe as well, guys, as it really does help me. Check out the ATV, the link in the description, for more info on that and some other cool stuff, which we will talk about in the news tomorrow, but also I'm sure we'll look at deeper sections into a couple of things. It's Citizen Gone in just over a week. Woo! That's going to be awesome to watch. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the verse.